I appreciate it. And actually, I had a moment like that this week because I had this guy reach out to me that he we met at like a concert like probably 4 years ago at like an EDM concert, and it's funny because I remember him being a little bit like we were like it was like, oh, what up, like mutual friends. I think actually Sheen might have introduced us.
Probably. She knows everybody, dude.
Yeah, but I think I remember seeing him again at another thing, and I like said what up to him, and he kind of acted like he didn't know me. So like, oh, maybe he like, maybe I was just a fucking forgettable person, like, whatever. I don't know. I didn't think very much of it, but somehow we were like friends on Facebook, and his name is Joel, and he hit me up actually, and I haven't talked to him in like years, and we're friends on Facebook, and he hit me up this week because he said, hey man, I'm having some, I have a question about uploading videos to Facebook or whatever. And then he goes, yeah, and I'm actually editing this snowboarding video finally that I've had the footage for like over a year and a half. I just haven't gotten around to editing it. I like shot all this stuff on a GoPro, and it was like my first time trying to make a video. And actually your video that you made, I made this video like almost 2 years ago now, maybe even more. It was before I had the GH5, so yeah, probably like 2 years ago. And it was the video where I went to Florida with Kat, and that we did that whole like young entrepreneurs video where we went to like Universal Studios and all that stuff. And he was like, that video, man, it inspired me, bro. It was like one of the best videos I've ever seen, and I'm like, geez, like, thanks, man. I appreciate it. And it is a really cool video, but I mean, at the time I didn't even have my like expensive camera that I have now. I did have a drone, and it was right when we bought the drone, and it was and I still had like my Canon camera that was only shooting in like 1080. So it was just funny because I think of that video and I'm thinking of all the ways that it could have been way better, but like he looked at it as like one of the coolest videos, and it like inspired him. So I'm like, that's really cool. And then we started talking more, and after he posted the video, I went and watched it, and it was actually really good. Like I was like impressed by how good his video was.
And it was his first video.
It was his first video that he'd ever like really tried or whatever, and he edited it on like iMovie, and it was good. He said he spent like weeks on it. Every night after work he was going home and editing it and all this stuff, and it was cool to like hear him talk about how he was like going through that process. So I'm like, bro, you're thinking it exactly correctly, because I think so many people don't really realize like the level of work and effort that goes into making a video really good. But not only that, I think a lot of people make a video, but they don't even really realize whether their video is bad, or they know it's bad, but they don't know why it's bad. And he was just like very, very aware of all the things that he wanted to do, but like maybe just didn't have the skill set for or whatever. And it was cool because I was able to talk with him. And he was like, dude, I've just been like, it's so cool to like talk to you about this stuff, because I've looked up to you for like the past couple of years in video. And he was like, I listen to your podcast all the time. And I'm like, what? Like, I'm like, you listen to my podcast? He's like, yeah, dude. Like, I've been listening to your podcast. I watch all your videos. And I'm like, no freaking way. Like, that's so cool. And he's like, yeah, dude, you're like, I just admire you so much, because you turned like your passion and hobby into like your career. And like, I just don't know if I could ever do that, man. Cause like, I'm such a perfectionist. I don't think I could ever turn anything over. I'm like, bro, like, trust me, I'm the same exact way. And we just had this super long conversation. We literally were sending voice messages back to each other for like 3 hours on Facebook Messenger.
Those are my favorite kind of conversations. Yeah, those are awesome.
But it was so cool because I was like, because I also gave him some pointers on his video, and he was like, dude, that means so much to me, blah, blah, blah. And I told him that I was like, one of the things you should work on is like sound design, like getting, not just using music as the only noises. You should use some camera sound to like immerse the people into the shots or whatever. And then I sent him the Texas hunting video. I was like, this is like one of my, like, honestly, I think that's probably one of the best videos I've ever done. I think that's probably like, as far as professional level, it's
like a TV show. It's like a
TV
show. It's good.
He literally goes, dude, I just watched that whole thing. Like, I felt like I was watching a show on the Discovery Channel. Like, what the fuck?
Dead ass.
I'm like, dude, I literally shot that whole video in one day, and I was the only production person. Like, it baffles even me that I'm like, holy shit, how the fuck did I pull that off? Not to toot my own horn, but it's like, goddamn, like, that was a really cool video. I'm like so proud of that video. But I showed him like, you know, how much I showed him like a screenshot of or a screen share thing of
your timeline.
I showed him the timeline, and I took the music out, and I showed him just the sound design and all the little sound effects that I added in. He's like, bro, that's crazy, blah, blah, blah. And then, he was like, he goes, dude, I watched because I sent him another video. I sent him the one of the little vlog that I did in like Yosemite or whatever. And I was like, this one's really cool too.
That's
and he
a good
goes,
one
dude,
too.
I watch your videos, and I honestly, I want to be surprised at how good it is, but you're Andrew Deitch. Like, I already know your video is going to be like amazing. And I'm just like, dude, like, that's like the biggest compliment.
This is some shit that like I saw, and immediately is why I was like, I got to work with this guy. I got to work with this guy. I got to work with this guy. Like, how do I get him around in my life? Like, how do I make this happen? Shit. He doesn't even know how good he is. Cause like that was like, I remember, like, I'm sure that's probably how, that one lady feels about us, you know? It's like,
yeah.
Like,
I mean, shit, dude.
It's one of these things where like, I remember after you interviewed me in the podcast, you made like a video for your Instagram story that was like, I was teaching you how to like pour some materials into a silicone cast. Yeah, we were making
like some cast thing with like resin or something.
Yeah, and I remember you sent me that video, and I was like, huh? Like, this is nuts. Do you have that on a highlight anywhere?
It's not live anywhere anymore. Honestly, it's like, I watched it the other day. I'm like, this is so bad.
but for like a very first vid, it's
for like 15-second Instagram story, it was pretty cool. But it was funny really because I was talking to him, and I was like, dude, like, you've got like an eye for this kind of stuff. Like, the pacing was really good in your video and all this stuff. And I gave him pointers, and I was like, dude, I started off the same exact way. I started off making videos with a GoPro, because after he released the video, he had a friend reach out and was like, I'm having my wedding in the fall, and we got a quote for someone to shoot a video for it. It was like way out of our price range, but like that video that you shot, like, we'll pay you, like we'll shoot it. I mean, we can't pay you the amount that like we got quoted, but like we can pay you something.
We'll pay you a lot. Yeah.
And he was like, dude, I don't think I could do it. Like, all I have is like a GoPro. And I'm like, dude, I was in the same exact position where I literally got offered to shoot like event promos, and the only camera I had was a GoPro. And it was just so funny because I'm like, I'm in the same exact spot, bro. Like, or I was. And you'll look kind of silly walking around a wedding with, like actual wedding photographers with their giant cameras, and like, AJ knows a lot about this because he's done a lot of wedding videos. And you're walking around with a GoPro, you're gonna feel pretty silly, and the video honestly probably will not turn out like amazing. But I think for what they want, like they just want like a simple video. Like they know that it won't be like crazy. I'm like, dude, you should just fucking do it. You never know. But anyways,
yeah, one of the things that I think I also appreciate about how your mind works a lot is, when you're shooting and when you're editing, you also know who's looking at it, and you also know who's looking at it and where they're looking at it. You'll make some type of like, you'll shoot something vertically because it's going on Instagram TV, and wheelchair users are going to watch it. So, or people with disabilities are going to watch it. So you build in captions. Like there's literally so much that you do that I'm like, I'm almost at the point where like, I don't even want to put out content unless it's somehow touched by you, because if it's not, then I'm like, oh, well, I don't want it if it's not touched by you.
Hope you enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full episode, you can click right here. If you want to subscribe to the channel, you can click right here. If you want to watch more clips, we got 2 more right over here.